Hey guys, so in the last video we installed these awesome looking cabinets, and today we're going to be installing these awesome looking shelves to go with those awesome cabinets. Let's get started. So to do this, I'm going to be using these L brackets that I got from Lowe's, and I'll also be using this shelving that I got from Lowe's. I'm first going to take my stud finder and I'm going to start marking where the studs are behind the wall. Now that I have the studs marked, let's see what this is going to look like. So here is my laundry room. If you're new here, I usually use visuals for all my videos just to explain exactly what I'm doing. After I found out where all the studs are, I now want to figure out where I want my brackets to be, and I want them all to be nice and centered with the room. So this is roughly where my cabinets are right now, and here is about where I want my shelves to be mounted. My first shelf is going to have 3 brackets on the bottom, and the top 2 shelves are going to have 2 brackets on the bottom. This will look best in the room, but it'll also give enough support to the shelves for anything that I want to put on top of them. I'll first measure over 9.5 inches from the left to the right to hit that first stud so I have something to screw to. Then to make it symmetrical, I'll do the same thing to the other side. Then I'll take the measurement in the middle and divide that by 2. This measurement will let us center the bracket in between the 2 brackets already mounted. Now that we have our plan on paper, let's go do this for real. I started off measuring 9.5 inches from the wall to the bracket that you see right now. Then I'm going to measure down from the bottom of my cabinet to the top of the bracket to see how much room I'm going to have on my shelf. After you found that, I just mark a little hole right where I'm going to drill. Since this first bracket will be mounted onto a stud, I'm just going to drill a small pilot hole. Then I'm just going to screw in the included screws. Now for the second hole, I'm going to take my level and put it on the bracket just to make sure everything's nice and straight. Now that we have our first bracket mounted, let's go and do the second one. Like I explained earlier, we're going to take our first measurement from the wall to the side of the bracket and then copy that for the other side. Then I'm going to take a longer level and place it between the 2 brackets so that I make sure the entire shelf is level at the very end. So I'm just lining up the mark with the side of the bracket and then checking my level, making sure that the shelf is going to be nice and straight. For the rest of the brackets, none of them lined up with the stud, so I'll be using the included sheetrock anchors and a 3/16 drill bit. These sheetrock anchors don't always work, so I'll leave a link in the description for some really nice ones that I like. After you have the hole drilled, just tap in the sheetrock anchor with a hammer. Next, I'm going to take my level and just make sure everything is nice and straight still, and then I'm going to measure between those 2 brackets that I was talking about, and then mark the centered line between those 2. After we mark that, this is where your 3rd bracket should line up. Now to make sure our 3rd bracket is level, I'm going to take my level and I'm going to place my bracket right on that mark and then push it up to the bottom of the level. And this is what we have so far, so let's go measure our shelf and then cut our shelf. I decided to measure for my shelf at the beginning, so that's why my brackets are missing. These are the screws I'll be using to mount my shelf, and the reason is because they won't go all the way through the shelf. Now just take those screws and then screw them up through the bottom of the shelf to the brackets. You'll do this for the front and the back. After you do that, you should have something that looks like this. Now it's time to do the top two shelves. So I'm going to first measure the area that I want the shelves to span. In this case, it's 32 1/4. Then I'm going to take that measurement and divide it by 3, which then gives me a measurement of 10 3/4. So then I'll take that measurement and measure down 10 3/4 on the other side, and that will be the top of my bracket. Now to get the spacing, I'm just going to measure 2 inches from either side. So right here, my level was a little bit too wide to fit in between the two cabinets, so I just got a board, a really straight board, and put my smaller level on top. With the top one done, let's do the exact same thing for the bottom one. With everything nice and sturdy, it should look something like this. And if it does, then congratulations, you nailed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.